Good morning. How we all doing? Good morning. Good morning. How's it going with you? How has been the week? How will you describe your week? I hope you describe your week in a positive light and I hope everything is working well for you as planned. So today we'll be talking about another important topic as usual. This topic has been on my mind for a longer time, but event always come over it. And this topic is basically what a lot of women are struggling with. So, if you have a wife, let her come over here. If you have a sister, let her come closer. And also, you can also listen as a man too. So, it's this weight loss palaver. Oh. Everybody wants to be on a weight loss journey. And it's becoming an obsession already in Nigeria and everywhere in the world. Everybody would want that banging body. Everybody want that, perfect body. Everybody wants to be a baddie when it's come. Hold on. Okay. Can you hear me now? Thank you for letting me know. Or at least don't let me see how many minutes to spend talking by ourselves. So everybody, you're welcome. You're welcome to connect and reflect again. We will bring you relatable topics of interest, topics that we can connect and relate with. And one of those highlights and also topic that's been on my mind for a longer time is this topic for today, and it is weight loss obsession in Nigeria. Everybody wants to lose weight. Everybody wants to have that perfect and bagging body, this baggy body. But who are those people that brought this narrative that people that are plus size do not have a perfect body? How did we degenerate to that? Before, it used to be like people that are plus size are people that will feel they're healthy, they're eating, they're rich. But now the narrative has changed. When did the narrative turn around that you must be slim to have that perfect body? And this has brought a lot of controversies, and a lot of people think that people that are all plus size are unfortunate. They don't have that self-esteem anymore because they think that they don't have the right body. Is it their fault? No. But because society have made them feel less of themselves because they do not have the perfect body, they now make people that are slimmer feel that they are more disciplined than people that are of big size. How did we get here? Could it be the movies that we watch lately? Could it be the content creators who have put people on plus size in a very demeaning and condescending character? Or people that are our celebrities who used to be plus size, who have gone who have money to perfect their body. Let me use that word, perfect in quotes. They have gone to reduce fat. A lot of people say it's a health condition. Some people feel like it is also a way to, have the perfect body with the undertone of health. Does that mean that people that are fat are not healthy? There's a lot of thin people, slimmer people who are not also healthy. So we should not change that narrative. Yes, body shaming has become a thing of become natural, that people that are plus size, we have one comment that will sound like a compliment, but it is an insult. Why will we be telling people that they have added weight? It's because of this. We are in a very sensitive environment that we have attributed so much to people that have we have attributed so much negativity to people that are plus size, and now you are telling somebody that it has added weight. So how did we get there? So we need to talk about people's mental health, we need to talk about body shaming, and we need to talk about self-love in this conversation today. Hi, how you doing?
Hi, good morning, good afternoon. Fine,
Good
thank you.
morning. Where have you
How are
been
you
all this
doing?
day?
I've been around. I've been in the comment section. Yeah.
So when I don't see you in the bus, it looks like it took me a year to see you. I always miss you when you
Right.
don't come on.
Yeah, because I'm trouble. Of course, you're saying in another way that I'm a troublesome person. So when I'm not
No,
around,
not.
you miss the trouble. But it's good.
But
It's
you
good to be here.
we
Mhm.
miss when you're not here though.
Yeah.
It's always calm, civil when other people are here. It's calm and
And I'm
stable.
not here, like just like I said, like it's less troublesome when I'm not here. Yeah,
I
I
like
get
the
that a
energy.
lot.
Yeah, I like the energy you come with when you come. So now the topic we're talking about is weight loss palaver in Nigeria. And looking
Mhm.
at me, let me use myself as an example. Ever since I got married, or ever since I've been conscious of what I look like, I've
Mhm.
always been careful of what I eat. People that knows me with Adela do not eat. People that know me is like Adela is trying to keep her body. People that knows me with Adela doesn't want to become big. If they will offer me food, I would decline several times because I don't want to eat something that's not healthy. No, not say it's not healthy, but I don't want to eat something that will add to my fats. Let me put it that way. The only
Mhm.
time I let go is when I'm pregnant. There's nothing you can do when you're pregnant. You
Mhm.
can't.
Mhm.
Even with that, still, I'm still very careful. I eat only the things that are necessary for the body. I don't drink caffeinated drink. I don't. I'm very conscious of sugar. I scream when I see sugar. I scream like, "This is too much sugar." So,
Mhm.
and with that, I don't know if my gene is not just big. Okay, let me take that back. My gene is big. Just I've been extra careful of how I look. So why do we have it these days that we think that people that are fat are not healthy? People that are thin are healthier. How did we get there?
But I honestly don't think how we got there is rocket science. I think it's just evidence in what we see every day, right? And in if we look at the chemistry and the biology of how people, move from being small to being very big to being chubby to being
Mm-hmm.
fat to even being called obese, right?
Yes.
It comes from a
Mm.
standpoint of view of typically your day-to-day lifestyle. You
Mm.
understand? And a large, amount of that speaks directly to what you consume, and how much time maybe you spend, um, moving, exercising your body. So I think it's something that has been inevitable. I think the food we consume, has evolved over time to the point where most of what we consume today is fast food. And because we have to consume fast food, they have a lot of um, chemicals that we use in storing them that eventually comes into the body and may affect how big or how small or even how healthy you get. So at the end of the day, as much as people feel very uncomfortable with this topic, it's a topic that we cannot avoid. There are people that are fat, there are people that are becoming obese, and we have to talk about it because everybody has one or two persons in their circle who is going through that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now, what is the standard of beauty? Who determine the standard of beauty? Like, or the fat person is not beautiful and the slimmer person is beautiful. Who started it? Because I need to get out of this. Me too, I found myself there. But I need to get out of it. If you know the skinny product I have in my house, as skinny as I look, if you know the number of skinny product I have in my house, so who brought us there? Because I'm getting out now.
No, well, but I think it's just something that came naturally. It's just something that I think psychology just brought. When you're small, you tend to look very cute. When you're still the baby, you tend to look very cute. The more, the bigger you get, the less cute you look. Like from when you were born a day old, everybody wanted to hold you. When you become 1 year old, people, your mom will begin to bring out cane to warn you and all. When you become, 5 years, 6 year old, people begin to, call you different kind of name depending on the kind of behavior you hold. So I think the bigger you become, the less cute you look. It's just nature. Yes. So and it's also you can relate it to weight also. Like the bigger you become, right? I think the less attractive you tend to become. And
So are
I
you trying to
stand to
say that big people are coming for you? Are you trying to say the big people are ugly? Me, I know
well,
they.
I didn't say ugly, I just said less attractive. And that's why typically when they want to do beauty contests, they don't bring big people
Ibi tí
into it
wàhálà wà ti wá
because
nìyẹn.
yes, because it's just the attractiveness. They believe that. Of course, I'm on the big side also, so it's not like I'm body shaming anybody on something I cannot relate with. So when they are doing beauty contests, they bring people who are very, are very slim, who have toned kind of body to an extent. You understand? The same thing with the male beauty contest too that they do. Macho men, they ensure that they don't put big people into it. And why? Why is okay? Why is because
They
you
will not
tend
call you
you
Ayeshegun.
they can't come into it, of course, because I'm going to come with pot belly, and it's people with packs that they are looking for there. So at the end of the day, as much as we want to make it look as if some set of people started body shaming big people, it's just nature that makes them see what they see, and they tend to
Mhm.
talk. You understand?
So we need to
So
look into our beauty pageant, standards. They need to do the plus
I don't
size one
think
too.
I don't think we need to look into the beauty pageant standard, except you want to create a beauty pageant for big people. I don't want to say fat people, for big people. Of course, you cannot tell big people to compete in the same contest with
Why?
people who are very toned body. You understand?
Why?
Look,
You rock your body, I rock my own. How is that a big deal? I could be beautiful
yes,
and big. You walk down the walkway. Me too, I walk my own. How is that an
yes.
issue?
But we
It's
have to answer
confidence.
that question. We have to answer that question by first identifying and answering this question: is fat a good thing? Is
It
fat
is
in
not health
whatever context?
related. If it is
In
not health
whatever
related,
context, in whatever context that we're talking about, is fat a good thing?
yes.
Usually, when fat has been talked about, you and I know that it's not usually been talked about in good light. It's usually talking about people losing it. One of the things that people don't mind
Mm.
losing, eh, by any means. Even if people go to church now to tell their father-in-law to lay hand on their belly fat so that it can go in. That's on lighter mode anyway. But the point is that fat is not a good thing. That's one of the things we've been able to identify. Yeah.
Mm. Go. I'm so tired. Like I'm just, I don't know what to say because people that are fat is not their fault that they are, and we need to stop making them feel less of a human being. We need to stop making them feel less attractive, and we need to just be and embrace who we are. Whether you are fat, you are skinny, you whatever you are, let's embrace it. A lot of fat people that are healthy. There are a lot of thin or skinny people, they are not healthy. We just need to
Hmm.
stay healthy. If your fat is affecting your health, then that's when it becomes a concern. But if your fat
Hmm.
is just there, minding its business, you are beautiful.
No, well, you
So,
see, I think that people who feel body shamed um, when they call them certain names, I think they may have some certain issues with self-esteem, to be honest. Of course, I was body shamed a long time, but over time when I got to understand that me being big, me being fat was not a direct result of what I do. It's just gene, it's just biology, right? I there was not at that point I decided to, build my mental faculties to understand that look, it's not my fault, of course. And whatever anybody says about it does not move me. People call me different names when they depending on how they feel. You understand? It doesn't move me. I don't care about it. I don't even react to it. So I think everyone needs to be able to. People who are on the big side needs to be able to. Of course, people who even are on the small side too also get body shamed. If you want to even be truthful, even those who
how?
are on the small side too, they have plenty names that Yoruba people have very bad mouths, and they know how to insult you as even a slim person, right? They will call you toothpick. They will call you igishano. They
Mm.
different things they will call you as a slim person who is even fit and in shape. So I think everybody has to toughen up themselves to the point where what people say will not, affect
Mm.
them.
Now let's now come to our today's world. Do you think social media, or especially Instagram, is the one putting pressure on us because everybody wants to be that Instagram baddie with a flat stomach or perfect curves? Do you think they're the one adding pressure because all our celebrities are on call for slimity or waist trainer and they lie to us, or probably they ask the editor to edit slim down their slim down their waist? Look at that Kechi Blessing saga.
Hmm.
So, do you think Instagram is adding more pressure on people?
I think social media generally added to the pressure. I think the pressure was there naturally before. you
Mm.
know for women, the pressure started from your mother's telling you that if you had the potential to be fat, and this is true, of course, you can't even blame your parents. If you had the potential to be fat, they expect you to get married as soon as possible, because
Yes.
they believe that once you begin to have kids, that your size is going to increase. That's number one. And they even
And they
believe that
don't
if you don't. Yes,
they don't want you
say
to
it.
increase fat while you are still home so that you don't become
Yeah.
unattractive to a man. Go and become after he has married you, they'll go and blow up in his house.
Exactly. So that's at least you go and become another man's liability at that point. You are not going to be, in their house, and then they are now having to take you to Shiloh just to find a man. So
Mm.
they know the biology that is running in the family, in their generation. So they are already preparing you ahead of it. You understand? So I think what social media has just done is to add to that pressure. You understand? And we see a lot of people on social media and we want to emulate them. We see the kind of clothes they wear, we see the kind of, fitness they claim they have, and we want to emulate them. So people tend to, um start to look for different kind of solutions and all. I think it's okay to look for these solutions. I think, but it should be something that you yourself are very convinced about. You shouldn't feel pressured by anybody, by whatever anybody is doing. You understand? And um it's important to run your race at your own pace. It's important to live your life according to how God has created you. You understand? You're on the big side. You're not supposed to be dreaming to live the life of somebody who is a model. To be honest, okay, if you even want to be a model, don't think you are going to be a very slim and athletic model. These are things that we see on social media that puts people under pressure. Of course, I make intentional efforts to also lose weight, but I'm not going to ever dream of owning a six pack. That's the truth. And that's me setting a realistic goal for myself in the middle of me having to earn a living, having to work, and having to do a lot of things, and then having to say I'm going to the gym and all that. I'm not going to be able to pursue a six pack. So losing the weight alone is enough for me. So I think there's a lot of pressure coming from social media, from what we see, from what people preach, from even people that are acknowledged. When a sexy lady posts a picture up there, she's going to get like 400, 500 likes. She's going to get a lot of comments. But there's one there's one sister blessing somewhere who is craving for that body, who looks at all the she has gone to the studio, done all the best, the most sexy post that she can. She has bent the waist, she has torn her leg, done everything, and the post is still getting just 5 likes. So she's going to be pushed and forced to now begin to consider alternative means to achieving that distance. So I really just think that social media puts a lot of pressure, but I don't think anybody deserves or should put themselves under that kind of pressure. Mm.
It is well. So now, do you think men also face the same thing as women who want to lose weight? Do you think they get body shamed? Do you think, or men just carry their pot belly with gladness and they don't even care? Somebody like white this guy chief priest
Yeah,
Obi Obi
I
Kubana.
think men even face worse body shaming than women. Yes, I think, and to prove to you is men with pot belly who are big, they get accepted when they have money. They
Mm,
receive acceptance when they have money. Women tend not to look at, not it's not like they don't look at it, they tend to overlook. And I can tell you this because I also am on the big side to an extent, you understand? And the people that you just mentioned now are tactical example, a typical example of what I'm talking about. They are celebrated, they are on the big side, they have pot belly. But if the case was reversed, if they did not have as much money as they had, they wouldn't have been able to probably attract the kind of followership that they have, or even the kind of women that they're able to attract and all. You understand? So women tend to notice. They tend to notice you have pot belly. They tend to notice. They call you baba party. They call you different things. Look, they even tell you that it is the guy that has money, the guy that is big, that has money, that we call biggie. The one that is big that does not have money, we call them orobo. You know.
which one are you? On the
Yeah.
lighter note,
I don't care which
I
one.
think I'm
Whichever
beginning to body
whichever
shame
anybody
now.
calls me. Whichever anybody calls me, honestly, I don't care. So, but the truth is that it's also there for men. The only thing is, and that's why men will tell you that, look, just make money, and you will become accepted. So it's a real problem, and even some of these guys, like you always say, that sometimes we have a little bit of trauma. We're traumatized
Mhm.
and we're just living with it and we don't know. So if I'm going to interpret that as trauma, I'm going to say the only thing that is helping those men hide their trauma is the availability of money. And that's why they say, just have money. You can get any girl
Mm,
that you want. You understand? Yeah.
okay. So now let's talk about the families and friends that we have around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I said this one said that one without money is big for nothing. And ah,
Mm-hmm.
Or Bukwale no Nigerians. We can say so many things I think for nothing. Ah. But okay, let's talk about families and friends that they have comments on how you look. They'll tell you, oh, you have added weight, oh, oh, your weight, your bum bum is showing now. Oh, your boobs are not bigger. Those comments, do you think is helping us, or they are just, putting us in that spot where we feel uncomfortable when they give us comments like that? You have added weight.
Well, my own philosophy about life is that everybody should toughen up. You understand? If you are even a Yoruba person, you grew up the way we grew up, we always insulted ourselves with, you know, things that things that were obvious. So I think, um, in a way, when family says that you have added weight, sometimes it could be a good thing for somebody who does not
Oh.
usually typically add weight, or somebody who is on the small size. It could be a good thing. You understand? So for somebody who is on the big side, if they say you have added weight, for me, I always look at the positive side, and I always encourage everybody who's going through that, who has ever gone through that, who will go through that, to just look at this and say thank you. Just look at this as a positive thing. You understand? But of course, you yourself are the biggest, judge of yourself. You will be able to know whether
Mm.
you adding weight is a good thing, or you adding weight is a bad thing. You understand? So irrespective of whatever the person is saying, the person is just saying the obvious. It could be as an insult, it could be as a compliment, whatever it is. What I do is just to ascertain if it is a good thing or if it is a bad thing. Even if it is a bad thing, the person is saying it to insult me. Of course, I'm not going to attack back. I'm just going to look at myself and see if it's something I can be better at. Saying that people should not body shame is okay, but come on, if your weight is also getting to a particular point where you are getting obese, you cannot tell people not to tell you the truth. You cannot tell people not to tell you the truth. You don't want to enter a public transport and you want to sit down. You're paying for one person's seat and you're occupying two people's seats, and you're expecting the person next to you not to complain of suffocation. Is the truth. Or you take the airplane. Yeah, you take the airplane. I saw a footage where a woman was going to take the plane, and she was being asked to pay for two seats. And she was insisting she wasn't going to pay for two seats. And to be honest, right, if you see her size, you would understand that she needed to pay for two seats. But she didn't, it wasn't as if she wasn't going to, at the point they were going to even give her the other seats for free. But she felt like she was being body shamed. But if you see, she was big. How can you communicate it? The big question is, after all this analysis is done, how can you communicate this to somebody that the
You don't have to
person,
communicate it.
why won't you communicate it when the person has put you, not even themselves? It's okay for them to put themselves in a situation where it is uncomfortable, but when they now come and sit by you and they suffocate you, and they want to, anything they want to do is, you usually have to be careful of how they move, how they do this, how they do that. You have to communicate. If, in fact, for some jobs that you do, your weight is very, very, very key. Are you saying that a professional athlete now that has developed a pot belly should not be told by their coaches that, guy, you have you have become too big? If your job is dependent on your weight, you have to be told. So as much as people say, don't tell them, it's people just asking everybody to be weak. Buckle up. Look, there's a show when I was really struggling. I dropped a couple of pounds in the past few weeks, and I had to go see a documentary to just help me get there. I had to go see a documentary called The Biggest Loser. And
Mm.
The Biggest Loser, it's a weight reality TV show where the person that lose the largest number of weight is the biggest loser, is the one that wins. And you see how people actually deal with. Of course, there are some people, if you listen to if a worry girl, I think, about her
Yeah.
journey, she had to do a surgical kind of weight loss. But listen to her journey of how she decided. It wasn't easy for her. She tried to go to the gym. Each time she went to the gym, she was falling sick. Each time she went to the gym, she was breaking down. She needed a solution to it. You understand? Eventually, it was said that the best solution for her to do was for us to do the gastric sleeve,
Mm-hmm.
weight loss thingy, and that's what she went through. You understand? But the truth is that as much as people were telling her over time, she took it as constructive criticism, and she realized that she needed to work on it, and she did work on it, and she's fitter
But
today.
you know what I did to her mental health? Like people telling you, let me give you an example. You know, I said I've been always conscious of what I eat. There was a month that I did not eat rice, I did not eat bread. I think made a post on my Facebook then that we should do a whole month without rice, and I did it. I was only eating oatmeal. I would take oatmeal like oatmeal food with milk in the morning, and when in the night I'll prepare it as a swallow, as a storage. Now they say it's not swallow anymore. I'm using my good English. So I'll prepare it as swallow and I eat. So I did that for a whole month, and I was very, very skinny. And like I love the results that I might not add weight. When it was September, I said mid September, one of my sisters at work was just like, so they're like, "Ma para, oh ma para, oh ma."
Mm-hmm.
So I started eating like regular person. You know, I'll eat in the morning. Before I was on, intermittent fasting. I would eat once a day. Probably eat during 2 o'clock, and that will last me for another day again to 2 o'clock. So I always share this opinion, that I'm on intermittent fasting. Like, study like this life. You just have to eat once. You have to eat good. She will tell me like I just have to loosen up. So I started loosening up, okay. And I was eating morning and night. I will eat anything my hand find, just eating indiscriminately. Like I've given up. When we get to heaven, all of us are going to be in boo boo. If you like, have big stomach. If you have big head, all of us are going to wear boo boo. So that was my pooping language then. That fitness will not matter in heaven. So later on,
Mm-hmm.
I started eating well. My stomach started shooting up. Then I started wearing big clothes. Like instead of me wearing all this bodycon, so I found okay, let me start wearing big, all this masculine shirts, which was good for me to hide my big stomach for me during that period. Though I was looking at it, I don't like it. That's why I was wearing big stuff. So later on, there was one patient who told me, "Oh, Hade, are you pregnant?" That question was as if somebody hit something bing on my head. I was not like, why did she ask me if I was pregnant? Is my tummy too big or obviously look like a pregnant lady? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Even
Mm-hmm.
that is what she's calling pregnancy because she knows me to be a very flat tummy person. Now anything
Mm-hmm.
that shoots it out looks like I'm pregnant to her now. Imagine a patient asking me if I'm pregnant. I'm like, no, I'm not pregnant. That question alone, that tells you like how much people should not ask. There's some questions you don't ask people. Oh, you've added weight. Are you adding weight? Are you pregnant? That are you pregnant make me feel like my whole world is crumbling. Like, what did she see? She didn't say more than that. But I asked 1,001 questions on what she saw. Or on that question. Did she feel I'm pregnant? Do I look chubby like a pregnant lady? Is my tummy now so obvious like a pregnant lady? Do I act like a pregnant lady? Am I now sluggish? Why is she asking if I'm pregnant? What did she see? Was now running on my head. So now those are why we should be careful, friends and family, we should be careful of questions and how we talk to some people because we leave them with is an open-ended question or is an open-ended comment that leaves the bearer or who hears it 1,001 questions to ask herself. Like now I don't even know how to, align to what she said. Maybe because I said I've given up, so I'm beginning to add weight. I know that food make me add weight. Now that I'm started eating well, now she's asking me, Adi, are you pregnant? Maybe I look puffy now. Maybe my tummy is now bigger. I don't know why she was asking me that question. So that's why it's very soon I'm going to go back to my weight
But
loss
can
plan.
I ask a question?
Yes.
If a woman's stomach is big, what other question should one ask the person?
You don't owe her any question. Leave her. If she born, she will tell you. If she born, she
Okay.
will tell you.
You know what
But
that's
there was
the
also a
what
lady at
that
work that I saw that
Mhm.
she had a very big tummy. I was almost asking her like, yo, questions like that. She's a Yoruba lady. Not knowing that she just get big tummy. So I was talking about big tummy. She said that you that you are complaining, look about big tummy, look at my own. So I was not like, so you're not pregnant? Oh, thank God I've not said that I tell a liar for you. She gets it.
Mhm.
That's how we should be careful of what we say. Imagine me telling her I said I tell you. I don't know why she couldn't. She's struggling with the stomach. Maybe she can't do it. She'll feel less herself. She would not look at herself lesser because of that comment. If me to
So
be there,
so
somebody's telling me I'm
because,
pregnant.
but you also know that people have lost their lives as a result of being overweight, right? You
And
know,
then she
right?
I'm not the doctor. If she can consult her
Yeah.
doctor, doctor will tell her that, not me.
And maybe if they had people who was able to call their attention to it early, and they started working on it early, maybe they could have kept their life. Maybe they could have stayed alive. Look, it's just what you wrote is just a response to the denial. Because one is denying a particular circumstance does not mean that it's not the truth. Look, and I'm going to tell you a perfectly good story, right? There's a particular woman who started having big stomach, and she thought it was because of her eating habit. And she also did not like people body shaming her, so people did not really talk. And I think over time, it was found that, I think after like a couple of years, about 5 or 6 years, it was found that she had really big fibroid. It was really big fibroid that eventually had to be operated on. You understand, that almost even took her life. You understand? So, but what I'm saying is that just because we refuse to admit the truth does not mean that the truth is not the truth. Just because somebody cannot be able to hear the truth does not mean that it's not the truth. So, as much as somebody has put on a lot of weight,
Don't
and
have
we feel,
mirror. Don't have mirror in my house to see that my
of
tummy is
course,
big. Don't have mirror to see that I have a puffy face. Do I need
denial
somebody to
is the
tell me?
answer. Denial is the answer. Denial, and then aside from denial, waist trainer is the reason why you are not seeing it inside. Waist trainer is the reason why you are not seeing it, because before you look at the mirror, you have put on the waist trainer and all. So, but the truth is that is fat and being, look, people, it's a progress, it's like a chain. When you move away from being fat, you are slowly approaching
Hmm.
being obese. You are slowly approaching being obese. You
So now
understand?
the
And
question
not,
we need. Sorry, let me ask you this question so that you can answer it with all. So the question we ask ourselves, like, are we losing weight just for validation and compliments, or we are losing weight for health reasons?
I think it's for everything. I think it's for everything. Maybe one is more important than the other. The first is you should lose weight for health purpose. The most important reason why anybody should go and hit the gym is for health purpose. Of course, there are people in the gym that goes there for validation, right? But it's important for you to consider your health when you're trying to lose weight. You understand? And of course, everybody wants a little validation here or there after the 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 work they've put into the gym, they've put into the losing weight. After they can see it, they want people to be able to, just like people pointed it out that wow, boy, shooting mubieni, why is your stomach getting big? They also want somebody to also say that, boy, you're looking really fit, oh, and all that. You understand? So to answer your question, I think the both reason is why we are losing weight, for validate, for health purpose, for living a healthy life, and also some little validation is not bad.
Hmm. Somebody saying women are losing weight for men. How did that become?
Yeah, so
Mm-mm.
that's true. That's typically true. The reason why, and you said it earlier. You were the one that said it in your words. The mother is wanting you to keep to shape and quickly get out of their house and go and marry somebody, so that your words were, so that you can still look attractive for men. So if there's a woman in that house at that time who has added weight and the person is trying to keep to shape, it's just for men. In your words, I'm trying to nail you to the cross now.
Eti mo corner. So, but come to think of it, losing weight should be for yourself. If you think it's for me, the reason I'm on a weight loss journey here, or probably I'm stressing myself, is just for the validation. I don't want to look my age. I don't want to look, like that chick that you are. I'm not for any man. Because my man self no send
Oh,
me. He carry him pot belly everywhere. Why can't I carry my own pot belly too? So you get
no,
what I
not
mean?
not really. No, I don't know what you mean. I think you are losing weight majorly for your man too, for your husband too. Because
Unfortunately, no.
I know that you wouldn't want to be in a shape that your husband will probably or your man will look at another woman. That's what many
Oh,
women say,
man, look
though.
for me. No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
That's what many women say anyway, and
No,
that's
that's
what they
what
do.
men, I'm
Especially
not in that space.
why do married women go to the gym? Why do married women go to the
Maybe they
gym?
have health issue. So
No.
since,
Okay,
you
why
know,
do married women who don't have health complications go
that's
to the
it.
gym?
So that my
The
mom will
reason is
not look
I'm
at
trying
you.
to, if you do the research, right? If you fill the form, there's a form that you fill when you're trying to use gym apps, and one of the options is I'm trying to look attractive for my man.
See, if you like, become like this. If a man wants to look elsewhere, he will see another one that is skinnier.
No,
This
that's
is
just the
saying my boss
excuse.
no get
That's just the
body.
excuse. That's just the excuse that women who have lost their men. That's the excuse that they give. Women who are losers already, who has lost in marriage, and that's the excuse that they give. Women who have kept their men in marriage and all, they say they will tell you to put in the work, put in the effort. It's not just don't just leave, don't just look anyhow. It's they even say it's in marriage counseling. So
It's okay not to look anyhow. Even if you are single, you don't want to look anyhow. Okay, if you think there's a particular way your man will like you, look it.
mhm.
But you don't keep yourself like that because of, I don't know how to be, because you always live for that person. See, men, if that is the case, I know, okay, what is his name? That white man, that guy, that Obi Kubana chief priest, that
Mhm.
Kubana chief priest, Bele, his wife was just say, I will not marry you again because of your pot belly. How many women have said, I don't want this man again because of pot belly? We hardly hear that. So men are not
There are
conscious of their look because of women.
there
Do it for
are
yourself.
please there are
Like
a
I
lot of
said, I like that compliment that comes with it. Like, oh, you have to keep, oh, you don't even look it. You look like a 25-year-old girl. I said, wow. Those are the compliments I like. Especially when they say I look like a high school girl. My head will be turning my head like this. So how weight
well,
loss and being fat, are
I
they in the
think
same?
there's this lady Rukaya Temitope Abijo that is saying that I'm wrong, that to keep fit, that why they go to the gym and all is to keep fit. Actually,
Uh-huh.
I
It's
think
just to keep
again,
fit.
ma'am, is still your response there is just denial, ma'am. Your response is denial. No woman starts going to the gym to keep fit. Most women that goes to, you can keep using the gym to keep fit, but go and check the majority of women and even men that are in the gyms today, like in the real gyms, they start with pot belly. It's not to keep fit. That's not the major reason why they
For
when
their
they
man.
now stay in the gym. Yeah, it's for their man. Super said it is for their man. It's because they want to look attractive. They want to lose the tummy fat. They want why okay if it is to keep fit, why did most of these women start their waist loss journey with waist trainer? Is
So
waist
let me
trainer
tell
helping
you.
you to keep fit?
Okay, why I like the waist trainer. When you're home, nobody wear waist trainer at home unless they want to do exercise or they want to stream their waist. It's when we are going out because we want our clothes to look good on us. That is it, not because of a man. I don't know. I don't know how some people do it.
Why do
Maybe
you
I'm
want your
different from what.
clothes to look? Why do you want your clothes to look
For myself,
super?
the same reason why
Why
I'm
do you
wearing
want
any
to?
clothes. The
It's
same reason I'm
because
wearing
men.
any clothes is to look good. I don't want to look different all in the
No,
society.
no. There's a difference between looking good and looking attractive. When you decide to to project a figure eight that is not there, it is because you want the opposite gender to actually see it. Because what you are doing is
Okay.
you are talking in the fat, you are pushing in the fat, you are holding your breath for a long time just because you want to look attractive. It's not to look good.
For
You can
who?
look
For the
good.
man that have seen me when with my big belly again? For who? The
Well,
man that when I
it's
get
easy
home,
for you.
I will lose that on me, whatever I'm wearing. He
Yeah,
will see
it's
how
easy
big it
for
is.
you. It's easy for you to respond because you know you've been married, you're happily married and all. But for women who are not married yet and are in that situation, they are doing it because they have to be attractive. And sorry if you don't really like my response, Lady Rukaya. The truth is the truth. They do it because they want to be attractive. Going to Owambes, going to, why do you think they so natives that pushes up their
That
bosoms?
book.
Yeah, why do you think they sold it? It's because you, okay, it's hard to look good also. It is because they want it to be attractive. They want, that's the truth.
Super, leave us with our waist trainer. Oh. We leave us with our waist trainer. Sis, we gotta package it. They said if you can wear bra, padded bra, and it looks good, we can wear waist trainer, please. This life, everybody, we're gonna package it. It's packaging. So now, can we say fat people are not healthy? And just the same with question that Super asked here. Said having weight and being fat, are they the same?
Yeah, I think gaining weight is what he's trying to say. If you gain weight to a particular level, right? If you gain weight beyond, everybody has what we call
BMI.
this is what we call this. Yeah, BMI.
BMI.
Thank you. Yeah, BMI. So you're not supposed to there's a particular level that you would exceed, that you would have become obese. That you would have become obese. So gaining weight is just the road to getting fat or to getting obese. So you need to check. In fact, when you begin to weigh, your weight begins to approach about, I think, 130, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
already approaching obesity. You understand? So everybody should check out their BMI and to know. So the thing is, being fat can be a bad thing, and it's usually a bad thing. You understand? Even for the person, even if we all decide to stay quiet and we should not say anything, it can be a bad thing. And it's usually a bad thing at the end of the day. You understand? Because it reduces it increases your vulnerability to some kind of disease. There are some kind of disease that only targets people that are fat, you
Mm.
know. For people,
Mm.
for things like high blood pressure, for things like heart diseases, for things like even internal organ failures, they are usually related to the weight. And go and check when they begin to diagnose anybody of, when they begin to ask you if you have IB or you have IBP or you're prone to hypertension, they begin to ask you if your mother is big or if your father is on the big side. You understand? So as much as we want to say it's not good to say these things, there are even natural diseases that come with just your weight. Just the fact that your cholesterol level is high, your BMI is high, your weight is high. So as much as we want to shy away and say, hey, people are body shaming you, they are the one causing mental health problems for you. At the end of the day, they are not the ones that, sometimes it's biology. For instance, myself, it's biology. I'm not a very heavy eater. I hardly even eat one meal per day, but I find myself that I'm on the big side. So being
Jane.
fat is a bad thing. At the end of the day, as much as we don't want to say, it is a bad thing.
See, it is not me that says it to everybody that big. Oh. It is not me. It is not me. Oh. So some people, if you are fat, I understand why they're saying that. Just reach out to your doctor. If doctor says that it's gonna be, there's reason for you to drop weight, kindly do it. Seek your professional advice from the doctor. But if doctor satisfy you that you're good, please carry your fatness, carry it with with grace. Because clothes look good on, there are some clothes that it only look good on people that are big. Ah, tend to big but wagbada. You will like it. Unlike a to skinny to wagbada, woman that be up my body. If I too big, to ba wọ ìró àti bùbá. That's why I don't have ìró and bùbá. It's because when I wear it, I look like they roll a cloth to a very skinny person. So I don't like it. Maybe now that I'm adding weight, I can revisit it. Well, it doesn't look good on me. I feel
Why do
like
you
I'm too
think?
skinny.
Why do you think? So why do you think agbadas are not usually used as costume on fashion weeks in fashion runways, right?
Because we've not started our traditional one. If you look
There
at
are
those
many African,
models for Agbada, they're always plus size, they're always all these chubby people that they use for Agbada. And there's
and
a
you and
way
I
that
know
this
that,
looks good on people.
when you see plus sized models on runways, right? It usually feels like it's just for inclusiveness. It's just so that they will say,
Oh,
just for let's just include. Let's not, the truth. As
somebody's
much as we
reading
don't
like
want to say it, as much as we don't want to say it, the truth. It's just for inclusiveness. It's not like it's really what they want to do. They don't want to sell. Most clothes production companies, they produce clothes not for the plus size people. The plus size people's clothes, and I am part of them, is based on special orders. So
this. Special with that by to your
responding
law.
responding to what you said about Agbada looking very good on big people, plus size people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good on them. That's the truth. That's on clothes too. Iran Buba looks good on people on plus size too. So they have their own. And why body con or body whatever, all these skinny that stretches, those are for skinny people.
Hmm.
See, I'm done with body con. I dash all my body con. I don't do wear. Sorry, because I want, like I told my husband, I want to see how big I can be. And I'm on that journey to see how big I can be because sometimes I've not even attained my bigness when I've already started cautioning it. Is that bad for me? So I want to see how big I can be before I go back to even if I want to lose weight or do anything.
Well, I think you're tempting God, because I think it's the Spirit of God that tells you to caution it. When you've not the journey has not gotten anywhere, it's just the Spirit that is telling you to caution it. So you want to tempt that spirit. It's easy to gain. It's easy to gain weight, actually. Very easy. The
No, for
more
me, I've
difficult
known
thing.
that several time. Over the time, I've known that if I smell food, I'll add weight.
Yeah, so for most people, if they even eat food, they will. For some people, they don't even eat. They don't even need to eat food. They just need to sleep and have good rest for a while. They will add weight. But you can
Mhm.
think about, just imagine the amount of time it takes you, the amount of work it takes you to lose just 2 pounds. It's a lot of work. So that's why it's usually okay for you to begin to tackle it as soon as you can.
Maybe because I'm used to it, like it's not work for, I can go fasting for 3, 4 days without eating and I'll still be good and my energy will be up the sky. Like I don't know how I do it though. So are we talking enough on the damages, this dieting, teas and quick fixes that we promote online? Are we talking enough about the damages it causes to our body? Let me give you an example. So I didn't just go back on this my dieting skill thing. It was I got the warning. So I went for my body work. Every other thing that everybody always have on a high side, cholesterol, it should be high. A lot of people's cholesterol are high. Mine is very low. They talk about BUN. Those people that do science, they will know is, let's say it's very closer to liver, to kidney. Mine is very low because I don't eat well. So talking like means that nutritionally, I am very low. I have low iron, low gbogbo because I was not eating well. And I know that this is doesn't look good. Like, oh, ma para, that oh, ma para, right? Kind of. So I said, no,
Mhm, mhm,
I'm just going to eat everything I need to eat and see how it looks again. So if, that has to do with my, medical status. And I'm like, no,
mhm.
let me go back to eating good so I don't do over skinning, sometimes some people's strength does not go to the gym, but because they just want to do it, they just want to keep body, or they have body sore, everything, they still keep moving at the danger of their health. Sometimes you can go skinny and too low, like the one I did. I was too low for myself, for what my body needs. So this limiting, this dieting, do you know that it's also dangerous? Do we agree that it's also dangerous for our health? If we agree,
Yeah.
how can we know when to stop?
Yeah, the thing is, I think the most healthy mode of weight loss is simply workout. Is simple, moderate workout. That's the truth. So I think things like slimming teas, slimming products, and all sorts, they there are some of them that have adverse effects, long-term
Mm.
adverse effects, and all these things are actually just shortcuts to losing weight. You understand? So for me, and for everybody that uses those slimming products, it's important for them not just to ask, they need to do the research and know, you know, what the true situation of those products are. They should understand that these products are this good, they are this bad, so that they don't go and end up having liver breakdown, kidney issues.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these products actually damage people's internal organs. You understand? So whatever products you're using is even the gastric sleeve surgery. When I researched about it, I heard that a balloon is placed in your stomach. That balloon that is placed in your stomach helps you to reduce your daily appetite for food, and then you are put on a food plan that you consume, and then over time when you consume those food, you would find yourself um dropping weight. What that helps with is you will naturally not crave for too much food, and then the
Mm-hmm.
amount of time that you need to spend working out will be divided by maybe two or three. So the effort you need to put is basically reduced, but it still comes with its own risk, such as the balloon, the integrity of the balloon within the duration of time that you want to lose weight. Sometimes it can burst, it can do different kinds of things and all. So
Ah.
even for people that go to the gym too, some of them end up having heart attack at the gym. Their heart is racing too fast. You understand? So they end up having heart attack. So there's a lot of risk that is involved, but especially for people who use slimming teas, those slimming products, it's important for them to check it out, check what they are being that is being used to make them, so that of course, and many of them I think they are just hype, because Nkechi
Mm-hmm.
Blessing was also advertising a slimming product, and when she's
Yes.
advertising it, the angle of the videos will be perfect. And everybody will feel like, man, she's in a perfect shape and all that, only for that picture to come out and we discover that, okay, even though she's even using the gym, she's not really very fit like that. So that's it.
Hmm. So I was so I was saying like if you like hide your belly, is what everybody can see. Now belly you get to look a person, that's it there. So talking about now, I think this person has asked also, or Super has asked that what's the difference between fitness and thinness?
Well, that has a major difference. Being thin just speaks to the weight. You understand? It speaks to
Mhm.
the body size, but being fit actually speaks to your overall physiology, and it actually speaks even about. Usually, if we want to even talk about fitness, we relate it more to athletes. You understand? Just because you are thin does not make you athletic. If you're fit, you are very athletic. It means you can be able to work out, you can be able to perform strenuous tasks without getting tired very easily. That's the reason why some persons who have the same weight, if you tell them to climb the same flight of stairs, right, somebody will get tired before the other. The person who doesn't really get tired easily is probably in better shape than the person that is just slim. Yeah.
Okay. Because a lot of people think when they are thin, they are fit. And when they are they are thin. Like you can be fat and be fit.
Yeah. You can be fat, you can be big, you can be chubby and be slim and be fit. Just like weight lifters, right? They are
Mm-hmm.
usually big. Most of them are fit. You understand? Most of them are
Okay.
fit. And just like beauty models, most of them are thin, but they cannot engage in most of them cannot engage in
And
sporting
anything.
activities. You
Mm-hmm.
understand?
Yes, the highlight of it for me is like when they use fat people for beauty pageant, it's just inclusiveness.
It's just, all those things are just inclusiveness. Look, the other time when some plus size people were used in the beauty contest, I don't know which of them for Nigeria. You needed to see how they were dragged. They were dragged,
No.
like really, really dragged big time. Yes, they were dragged big time. I think it was Miss Universe. Yes, the Miss Universe that
Mm-hmm.
Chidima came from South Africa to win in Nigeria. You need to go back and check the contestant. They were quite a number of plus size people. And look, it was not funny because people really, and it's because people knew that it was just for inclusiveness. You know,
Oh.
it was just for inclusiveness. That was why they were included. It's just like somebody asking me now that I should come and go and become a professional footballer, and they now call me to become a professional footballer. It's just out of pity. It's just out because for inclusiveness.
You
That's
will
why
run
it's
the
going to
one you
take.
can run and leave the rest. Ah.
That's the point. You are not supposed to run the one that you can run, I believe. You must run to the limits. Everybody, you must be able to compete with everybody. The baseline for everybody is equal. So, but just for inclusiveness, you now go and pick one or two people that are big. Well,
Yeah, but me
whatever.
as carry, yeah, but me as carry are preaching. Slim tea has side effects. There's no side effect, yeah, but me. There's no side effect. If you buy the correct one, it will
No,
help you
but
to keep
which correct one? Which correct one? A lot of them are side effects. A lot of them don't even more, but the thing is, a lot of them don't even, they are even fake. A lot of them are fakes. That's the truth.
Hmm.
Show me one person who has actually,
No.
used it to move from being plus side to being. Yeah, a lot of them are fakes.
Yeah,
To
true.
be
I am.
honest, and I have seen, especially women, who are very judicious with using them. And I
Hmm.
just keep telling them that, look, I tell them
Say,
all the time that,
come and check my space. You will see a lot of slimming product.
look, I tell everybody in my face that uses them that, see, this tea that you're drinking, better add milk and sugar to it and stop stressing yourself. If they say, why? I say, have you not been using it for the past 3 years? You are drinking it bitter. And look, your stomach is still competing with mine. Put sugar and tea in that thing and stop working yourself out.
So today's topic is just so funny. Like weight loss, it becomes everybody wants to have that banking body. Everybody wants to get that validation and that compliment, like you look good, and not from the place of health that they are losing weight. Like my own, it's not from the place of health. It's just from the place of oh, you look good, you don't look your age, kind of energy. And
Mhm.
what would I want add in my? I just realized that what would I add in my? I don't just want to lose my gorgeousness, and that was all. And the fact that people blame families and friends should be careful of how they talk to people that are naturally plus size, not from the place of you don't want to tell people that are naturally plus size like we don't know how you look. You look like a frog. You look like those things that they say to them are not nice, and it makes people lose their mental health and looks less of themselves, and that's what they have made all fat people look like. Apart from people that have health issue with it, every fat person in Nigeria is being shamed, and it's on default that they are being body shamed, and they are being seen as people that are less of themselves. And it takes you to naturally take yourself out of that context. That's it. Even if I'm big, I am big and big. I no keep person like my husband said. Like I'm big. It doesn't change who I am. Like we need to be intentional about it. And so far you are healthy with it, you feel good about yourself. What other people feel or say about you shouldn't hold water. And that is all that we'll be having on today's topic. Thank you everybody for joining us. I see you and I appreciate you for joining us. Thank you all our fans. Thank you for Aji for joining us today's conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Our other hosts are busy. Super too. Thank you for joining us. Super is also one of the hosts too, who is also online today. Thank you, everybody. See you some other time. See you next week, same time. Don't forget to join us. We'll come with another exciting topic. If you are big, enjoy yourself. If you need to visit the gym for your own validation, please do.